We're all surrounded by health data, right? It's coming from our watches, our rings, our fitness bands. But what if all that separate, kind of confusing data could be brought together into one single trustworthy score? Well, today, that's exactly what we're diving into. We're asking a huge question. Can AI finally unify all your health data and make it make sense? And at the very heart of this whole thing is a company called Trackable Health AI. Their mission is really the key to everything we're about to talk about, building trust by improving outcomes. Sounds simple enough, right? But actually pulling it off, well, that's where it gets really interesting. So let me ask you something. You wake up, you glance at your tracker, and it spits out a readiness score for the day. Do you really, truly trust it? Like, do you actually change your plans because of it? It's a fair question for any of us. But things get a whole lot more serious when the stakes are higher. And that leads us right into our first section, the readiness riddle. Because we're about to jump from just personal fitness into the world of high-stakes, critical operations. I mean, think about it. What if it wasn't just about whether you should, hit the gym or maybe take a rest day? What if your job, your entire mission, what if your life actually depended on that data being 100% accurate? Well, this is the exact challenge that the U.S. Air Force is grappling with. And you can see just how critical this is for them. They're trying to use wearables for everything, getting real-time readiness checks on their people, cutting down on the massive costs from injuries, even gamifying fitness to push for peak performance. The potential is absolutely enormous, but there's a huge roadblock standing in the way. And that roadblock? Well, it brings us to what you could call a tale of two scores. This is where the real problem snaps into focus. Okay, imagine this. You take two highly trained airmen. You give one a Whoop band and the other an Aura ring, both top-of-the-line devices. The problem is you get two completely different pictures of how ready they are. Whoop is obsessed with cardiovascular strain and recovery. Aura, on the other hand, really emphasizes sleep quality and body temp. They're using different algorithms, different baselines. They're basically speaking two different languages. It's a classic case of what they call platform bias. And the result of all that? Well, the source material nails it. It leads to frustrations and a low confidence level between devices. You just can't make life or death decisions when your basic data can't even agree with itself. You have this incredibly data-rich system with no single source of truth. It's a huge mess. So, how in the world do you solve a riddle like that? That's what brings us to our next section, the agnostic solution. And this is really the million-dollar question, isn't it? Is it even possible to take all these different devices with all their secret sauce algorithms and biases and somehow force them to speak the same language, to get them all to produce one single comparable readiness score? And the answer, incredibly, is a simple and very powerful yes, it can be done. Trackable Health basically figured out how to build the universal translator for all of this chaotic health data. They call it a device-agnostic readiness metric. Now, that's a bit of a mouthful, I know, but here's the simple version. They built their own unique data engine that grabs the raw data from any wearable, completely ignores the company's proprietary score, and then generates its own universal score, one that's consistent and accurate no matter what device you happen to be wearing. It's a genuine breakthrough. All right, so that's the theory, which sounds amazing. But what does it actually look like in the real world? Let's take a look at the platform in action. What's so great is how unbelievably simple they've made it for the actual user. See, a person gets to pick whatever device they're already comfortable with, and that's so important for getting people to actually use it. They download the app, sign a consent form, register it, and that's it. They're done. The system handles everything else in the background. And for the people in charge, the managers or commanders, the dashboard is just as easy to understand. First, it sets a 30-day biometric baseline for every single person. And from there, it's a really simple visual language. Green means you're doing better than your baseline. Red means you're below it. Arrows show you if you're trending up or down. And this is key, you can add event markers to give everything context. So you can see exactly how a tough training day or a stressful event impacts the data. It connects cause and effect. And to really hammer home that all-important theme of trust, they built this, Doctor You Can Trust. It's an AI-powered avatar, kind of like a data physician that's there for you 24/7. It's specifically trained to answer questions about data security, fitness, wellness. Basically, it's a reliable guide to help users feel confident and in control. Now, this whole technology was forged to solve a very specific problem for the Air Force, but its potential, Oh, its potential goes so much farther. Let's look beyond the battlefield. Because this is what's known as a dual-use technology. The applications are practically endless. I mean, just think about corporate wellness programs that can finally prove they're working with hard, objective data. Or a much better way to monitor the well-being of the elderly. It could even give a voice to nonverbal individuals by translating their biometrics into understandable needs. We're talking about changing long-held beliefs with objective data in tons of different fields. And that brings us right back where we started, full circle. The goal was never just about making a cool new score. It was always about using that score to build trust. Trust between a person and their boss. Trust between the data and the decision. And when you build that trust, you can't help but improve outcomes, whether that's on a battlefield, in an office, or at home. It just proves the real challenge wasn't just collecting data, it was standardizing it. And it leaves us with an even bigger question. Now that a universal language for our health is finally possible, what problems are we going to solve next?